Now for another episode of Talk in the Park with Jen. Okay, so here's another fun story. When I lived in Salt Lake City, Utah, I was in the shower one day. One day when I was in the shower, I had this really cool thing happen to me. This energetic tunnel bubble, air cloud bubble thing, about 3 feet in diameter, opens up. This portal just kind of goes. It's this little cloud bubble thing. It was like perfectly round, but it was like 3 feet in diameter, and it was only about 20, 30 feet deep. Okay, is from what it seemed to me. But on the other side was a man standing there, facing like that way. I'm like looking at him, and he's like facing to my right. Okay, he's like completely postured to the side, and then he stops and he turns and looks at me, and my bubble's over this way, and I'm just looking at him from this direction, and he's just, and then he stops and he turns and he smiles and he looks at me, and then the bubble collapses. Okay, so it's like I'm like you're looking at me, like, and I just kind of turn and kind of look at you, hi, and then the bubble collapses, and as the bubble collapses, I collapse to the floor. Okay, it all happened real quick. It didn't take long. It appeared. He turned. He smiled. It collapsed. I collapsed. And then, as I'm laying there in the shower, I realize I am crying at Jesus' feet. And he's hovering above my head. He's at my head. Okay? And my shower's there, but it's not there. True story. It's like he was like through the glass, and I'm like in the glass, but through the glass at the same time. It was kind of weird. It was kind of rad, cool, man. I have to tell you. Anyway, but so this guy, Christ, I'm like crying at his feet, and he's hovering above the ground, like 4 to 6 inches or so, about a hand above, and he's just standing there, and I'm like bawling at his feet. And all I can see is from about the knees down, but I knew it was Jesus' feet. It's like, I'll just say I know. Okay? I'll say that. It was Jesus' feet. I think I would know if I was crying at Jesus' feet. Think about it, people. That's all I'm going to say. Because I feel it's sacrilegious to speak further of that. Because this really happened. That's why. So bear with me. All this stuff really happened, actually, to be honest. It's just, when it has godliness involved, I get kind of protective about that energy. When it has like weird supernatural shit involved, I'm just like, this is what happened. It's kind of weird. Okay, it's all real, but I'm more protective of the sacred stuff, obviously. Go figure. Anyway, so I'm crying at Christ's feet. And then I come to, not that I was out of it, but he disappears, and I stand up, and I'm like, so the man I saw in that tunnel, that bubble thing that opened up, that was the prophet of the LDS church. The prophet. President Nelson. Russell M. Nelson is who I saw. Clear as I'm looking like in my camera, seeing my face. Sarah turns and smiles at me. President Nelson, Russell M. Nelson. Now, another one of those prophets that I hear in my head all the time is Thomas S. Monson, the previous one. He is very protective of me, and he talks to me all the time and testifies to people energetically all the time on my behalf, all the time. And so I'm very grateful for that. And yes, the LDS Church is true, but it also has a dark side that the evil things have infiltrated since the beginning. So we, good Latter-day Saints who know this, speak out about it, because it is kind of culty at times. There's a culty side of it. There's a very factual side, and then there's the perverted evils touched it, and it's ugly. And I don't like that part. And I speak out against that part. But I know the churches, because that bubble cloud and Jesus feet thing, that shit's real. Another time in that same house, Christ and Heavenly Father came walking into, I was downstairs exercising in my exercise room, okay, and along my wall, it's like a rectangular room, and at the top up here, it's like facing down, but at the along this wall, this is the outside wall, and this is like one of the regular walls inside, and then there's another wall over here, and the entrance to the room would have been right about here. Okay, now I was standing right about here, and the mirror was on this wall right here. Okay, and they walked along this wall, turned and faced me in front of that mirror that I was standing in front of, dancing, exercising. And at that point, they were about 3-4 feet above the ground. And all I could see was about chest between their boobies and their waist and down. That's all I could see. But they made it known who they were. They knew, I knew, and I knew, they knew, I knew, I knew, they knew. You know what I mean? No denial here. So they come into my house and they just kind of walk in front of me, turn on their heel and come and face me. And I'm just like, okay. True story. Okay. I got a lot of these weird things like this that happen to me. I've had more weird things like this happen to me than not happen to me. Don't get me wrong. You might see this weird spiritual person, and I am. But I am hardcore religious too. You got to understand. On like a scale of 1 to 10 on how religious is Jen, we're going to go with a 25 or 125. I give it my 125%. I give it all of it. It's kind of fun like that. And I don't give them anything though. The little, see, okay, evil is funny. So there was a couple, not that you can see them now, but they just, you might be able to see them. See, they go by just right back there. They just came by, and evil, as it would be, as I'm commenting about all that, they tried, that little weird couple acted and tried to take that energy away from me, that true story. And then as they were going by, I could hear the evil trying to say and pointed through me to give them that energy. True story. And I rebuke all of that out of them and away from them. Because evil is real, but so is God. And that was like the dragon Quetzal guy. Yeah, the dragon acts through him, my twin soul. And I think he is that dragon guy, to be honest. I sadly do. Which makes me question some of the other people that I know in my life that the Spirit has told me some really heinous things about. And I don't like seeing the dark side of anything, of anybody, for any reason whatsoever. Because once I see it, I can't unsee it. Once I know it, I can't unknow it. And my memory is long. It is like all of the knowledge packed into my mind. And I can retrieve it at a given moment, at any moment. All this weird knowledge, all of the knowledge. And it's funny because when I was born, here's another fun story. So when I was born with all of my knowledge already in my mind. Okay? True story. And I was only allowed to receive new knowledge by two individuals, God and Christ. I call them my holy shit handles. I've held on to them my whole life. You need to know that. and those holy shit handles like let go of me, and they like, it was like sink or swim, but I'm like, nah, you ain't supposed to let go of me. What's wrong with you? True story. But anyway, so the point is, evil exists, but so does God. And I'm not here to preach some weird gospel to you. I leave that for the missionaries. But I will preach the truth to everybody if you want to hear it. If you want to know the real truth of how this world was created and who's who and was what, and how and when and where and why and what, and anything to do with your own soul, I can tell you. And I don't need a Ouija board or a stack of tarot cards or anything like that to tell you about you. The Spirit tells me everything about everything about everything. Like, all the time. It even tells me that I'm that Holy Ghost Spirit thing incarnated. It tells me this, like always. Even told me when I was a small child that I was gonna marry Jesus and have Jesus's babies. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I was told that as well. Ironically enough, there's a lot of weird stuff I've gone through, and I did not grow up in a happy, joy, but I found a lot of joy in life. Not in my situation, not in any situation I've ever been in. I've had a whole bunch of tender mercies thrown my direction because of all the ugly things that have happened to me. But if there's like an injustice, I've had it dished out onto me. Or dang near. At some point in my life, in the history of me, I've either gone through it or helped someone through it. Like physically, like my best friend or something. I do a lot of amazing things. I've been through a lot of injustices and abuse, never having deserved any of it. But I have suffered through a lot of ugly things. A lot of ugly things. No, keep that energy. I rebuke you. Get back. Get back. Nope, get back. I rebuke you. Get back. Sorry. Woo! I tell you what, I'm gonna have to cut this short because there's a lot of bad energy coming to try to attack me. It does this. Whenever I try to speak my truth, I get attacked by evil. It's hardcore. I can feel God's presence pushing it back away from me. But I can feel its ugliness trying to steal my truth and my love and my voice and everything about me. It tries to steal away from me. It's really stupid ugly. Evil's dumb. Just know that, people. It's like on Harry Potter, like the Dementors, okay? All you have to do is laugh at evil and tell it how stupid and dumb and ugly it is. Just laugh at it. You don't have to fear it. Just laugh at it. That's all you gotta do. Seriously. It's ridiculous to say that. Just look at evil, just like in Harry Potter. Look at the evil and go, man, you're ridiculous. That's all you gotta do. Just know that. And it'll hurt evil's feelings. True story. That's how you conquer evil. You either laugh at it or just disallow it. But no, God laughs at it. Because God does not fear anything at all, ever. God has zero fear. The only thing God fears, I think, in my humble opinion, um, is losing its babies in a weird way. But God won't allow it because it's impossible. But God, because creation loves her babies. Mommies love their babies and will go to great lengths to save their babies, no matter what. Just know that. A good mama is worth their weight in gold. Okay. As the saying is, right? That doesn't mean she's supposed to be fat. It's her energetic heart love. How much she loves. It is how God measures her weight. It's the weight of her love, of her heart. That is what God measures, not her physical weight. There are some things out there that'll tell you that you're supposed to be fat, or that you're supposed to sacrifice your young or eat your young. Evil does that. The dragon does that. So don't bow down to anything that does that. It'll offer you fame and fortune and all kinds of things. Now, God, what God offers is not shiny. It's not spectacular. It's like this garden. But I think this garden is spectacular, but it's no garden of Versailles. Do you understand the difference? This is like God's garden that God offers. It's gorgeous. There's lily ponds over here. There's all kinds of, this is actually a quite beautiful garden, okay? And there's waterfront. I live in Portland, Oregon, so it's waterfront. There's bridge. I can see 2 or 3, 4 bridges from where I'm sitting. It's waterfront. It's gorgeous. I love Portland. This is the kind of beauty that God offers, is this kind of stuff. Evil offers you something like the Garden of Versailles, or maybe, what is that big building? What's that? The Taj Mahal. That's it. I had to stop and think. So Satan is like, here, I'll give you the Taj Mahal or the Garden of Versailles or something, rather, as here. Woo. And God's like, this is pretty nice. Know what I mean? It doesn't seem flashy what God has to offer. It's pretty like mellow, not quite basic, but it's like beautiful and gentle and exactly what you need. Not flashy, in your face, fame, fortune. If anything's offering you anything like that, it's the bad thing. Say no and say you're ridiculous and work for what you have. Don't expect a free ride or a free anything from anything, ever. Because that's not how God works. Evil does. Okay? Those are my words of wisdom for you, kids. And don't drink soda, because it's liquid poison. Mother Nature says, no soda. It's bad for you. I'm going to write a book on why you should not be drinking that stuff. Drink something different. Anything, like a yerba mate or something, or I don't know, anything. Carbonated water, it's carbonation. Here, don't hate me, just hear me, okay? Carbon dioxide, liquid, carbon dioxide. A tree takes carbon dioxide and transmutes it into oxygen, right? For us to breathe. In our bloodstream, oxygen and carbon dioxide are opposites also, and one kicks out the other. Kind of like good and evil. It's like a light switch. You get one or you get the other. Did you want rich, oxygen-rich blood, or did you want carbon dioxide poisoning your starving your body out. Think of it that way. And yes, there are spirits in the trees. Stop cutting down the trees. There. With the nature gutter. Happy end. Lots of love. Namaste.